All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Last year, the Boston Celtics ran roughshod over everyone en route to winning their NBA best 18th league championship. But this year's been a little bit different for the Celtics. They're still winning, yes. Maybe just not as dominant at times as they were a year ago. Here at the All Star break, Boston is 39-16, which is good enough for second place in the East, as they are 5.5 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Now, at times, the Celtics have simply flashed brilliance, or some of the brilliance that resulted in a championship from last season, while at other times they've had some frustrating losses, okay? But nonetheless, does this Celtics team have what it takes to win championship number 19 this June? You look at this Celtics team, the bottom line is they continue to make the 3-point shot a part of their fabric, as nobody is making more 3-pointers per game in the NBA than the C's are this season. Boston is hitting nearly 18 3-pointers per contest. What we're talking about right now with the Celtics, we're talking about prime Jayson Tatum and prime Jaylen Brown, two phenomenal wing players for Boston. Tatum is chiming in with 27 points per game, nearly 9 boards, and nearly assists, while Jaylen Brown is averaging nearly 23 points a game, 6 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists. And we're talking about two of the better wing players in the NBA suiting up for the Celtics. The keys for the Celtics, it's going to come down to the same thing it was last year: keeping Kristaps Porzingis healthy. And of course, the big fella can do so many things for the Celtics at the offensive end of the court. Darn good passer, okay. And you figure at the defensive end, he's 7'3", so you can't, coach that height. Aside from the passing at the offensive end of the floor, he can knock down the outside shot, he can knock down the mid range shot, and he can also play the post. And of course, the presence of Porzingis in that lineup for the Celtics just adds more depth. So again, it's all about keeping the big fella healthy. Of course, another big key for the Celtics championship from a year ago was when they picked up veteran point guard. Notice I said point guard, because he is a legit point guard. And I am talking about Drew Holiday, giving the Celtics a legit floor general. Okay. And that really changes the dynamic of this team. Of course, the veteran presence of Al Horford. You've got Derek White, who continues to knock down big shots for the season. Of course, Peyton Pritchard is really coming into his own playing for the Celtics this season. As we're talking about 6 guys right now for Boston that are averaging in double figures. So you look at Boston again, like I said, they come in with a mark of 39-16 to start the second half of the season. And of course, you ask yourself, does Joe Mazzulla still have his finger on the pulse of this team? Absolutely. Okay. And I look at this Celtics team and I think that they are truly poised to take another run. You look at it, they're the defending NBA champions. They have taken, I think, in my opinion, everybody's best punch so far this season, because as the champs, everybody wants to go out there and knock you off. At times, it feels like the Celtics, you could make a case to say, hey, they're just going through the motions. At times, you could sit up there and make a case and say, hey, the Celtics are simply just laying in the weeds. I'll tell you like this. I think this team is battle tested. And I think if you're the Boston Celtics, the playoffs cannot get here quick enough for you, just because I think that they have what it takes to once again shine on that postseason stage. Joe Mazzulla got a lot of confidence um, in that championship run last year. I truly think so. Jayson Tatum, I think, got a lot of confidence in that run as well because for all of those folks who said he couldn't win the big one. Granted, he was part of it. He wasn't the MVP. Of the finals. I totally get it, but nonetheless, getting that championship monkey, if you will, off of his back. This Celtics team is a veteran-laden club. They've got youth on this unit as well. Nice, good blend for Boston. And I think at the end of the day, we could see this team make another potential run to championship number 19. I look at it like this. I don't think that playoff seeding is necessarily going to be important. Meaning, if the Celtics get the top spot, of course, if the season ended today, they'd be number 2 in the East. They would get the 7th seed out of play-in tournament, and of course, there is the potential for a second round showdown with the New York Knicks. And of course, some people are already talking about the Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers possibly facing off in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nonetheless, I'm really expecting the Celtics to kick it into fifth gear at some point during the second half of the season. I think it could start tomorrow night as they're going to be in Philadelphia to take on the Sixers. And of course, the Sixers have been one of the biggest disappointments of this NBA season, maybe the biggest. Okay, and then Boston is home for a marquee game this Sunday afternoon. A lot of people are going to be watching that. Celtics Knicks, I totally expected. They're going to be in Detroit next weekend, or pardon me, next Wednesday rather, to take on the Pistons, a very and ever improving Detroit Pistons team. I'm looking at a potential finals meeting for the Celtics on the 2nd of March, a Sunday afternoon game at the TD Garden when they take on the Denver Nuggets. And then for me, Saturday, March 8th, the Celtics are hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. There should, because you never know in today's NBA with load management and all that other jive. But nonetheless, there should be a lot of premier talent on the court for that one. And then, of course, a big 6-game road trip to end the month of March. But I think this Celtics team will get it together, barring any major injuries. I'm looking at this team to make another run, and I expect this team to play well into the month of June, which means I do expect to be right there in contention for another NBA championship. Drew Holiday, he's got 2 championships, of course, one with the Bucks and one with the Celtics last year. Like I said before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, a lot of veteran presence on this Boston Celtics team. That championship medal, I think, will help the Celtics come postseason time. And then on top of that, believe it or not, the Celtics are looking to repeat as NBA champions for the first time since 1969. Okay, of course, the decade of the 60s was tremendous to the Celtics when it came to winning the championships. But nonetheless, let's see if this C's team has what it takes to run it back. The talent is there. Let's just see if Boston could get it done in the postseason to bring that Larry O'Brien trophy back to Beantown once again. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.